2 seconds. And good Thursday morning, or as we like to think of it, Friday Eve. 4 minutes past 10 o'clock. We're already up to 81 degrees at the KRIM studios on West Frontier in Payson. This morning on KRIM's Community Spotlight, we have, we've been having some fun here before the show. We have Lucy and Annie from the Humane Society of Central Arizona. And
hi.
Morning. We're just having a hot time in here. More on that later. First of all, Annie, now at the shelter,
yes.
Which for people that aren't familiar with that's at 605 West Wilson Court. And if you're not familiar with it, why is that? They can also be reached at 474-5590, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
How are things going at the shelter?
They're going pretty good. Yeah.
As far as influx of new dogs and cats coming in versus dogs and cats going out, any big change over the last month since we last talked?
I think with the eviction thing ending, we are seeing a lot more people trying to surrender, unfortunately. So I think that may be an issue going forward. Luckily at this point, though, we still have space to help people out. So right before I left, there was, I think, 2 dogs coming in.
Wow.
So
and fortunately now we're past knock on wood the fire season. So
yes,
and I know that was a
hopefully.
little taxing for you.
That was a great time.
Yeah. How many critters were brought into you to take care of during the fires?
About 73.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, just that on top of the other 70 we had. So
73.
we were
so
full.
by the time you get done with feeding, it's time to do feeding.
Pretty much, yeah. It was just a never-ending, like, here's a food bowl, here's a food bowl, here's a food bowl.
Now, seasonally, I mean, are there seasonal influxes of where we get a lot more cats or dogs this time of year than other times of year or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. So last month we saw a huge influx of cats, or as we like to call it, kitten season.
Mm-hmm.
In Payson, I think we have like 3 kitten seasons every summer, so that's always fun. But right now it's big dogs. We have a lot of big dogs.
Sorry, we were having a lot of fun before the show started today, and a lot of one-liners coming to mind. I'm just going to let them all go. All right, so and the kitten season is just about over now?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
hopefully.
We can only hope. And now, as far as seasonal fluctuations, how about things at the resale shop on Main Street? Does that have? I mean, do you get a lot of, pot holders in July or anything like that? Or I
get a lot of stuff all year round.
Yeah. No real seasonal weirdness as far as you get more of this kind of stuff this time of year than other times, or?
Well, in the winter I get fans, and in the summer I get heaters.
Yeah, I guess that makes
about
sense.
the only, they sell once the season comes.
So you're keeping busy though.
Yeah, keep them very busy.
And now, how many people do you have? As far as paid staff down there, how many are?
There's myself, and then I have 3 part-timers.
And then you have a slew of volunteers.
I have probably about 20 volunteers.
And if people want to volunteer, I mean, this isn't necessarily a huge amount of time that you have to designate to be a volunteer. You can just do short little stints.
You could do, yeah. We have multiple things that you can do at the resale store. We have cashiers. Some of them just do the cashier, up front. Then we have people that work in receiving, and then we have people that do both. So receiving, when you're in the back, you have a little bit more leeway.
Mm-hmm.
When you're up front, it's more of a we have more of a set schedule.
Right, makes sense.
But they can come see me, and a lot of people want to help out with the Humane Society, but can't deal with working with the dogs or the cats.
Right.
So coming and working with us, volunteering with us, you can still help. And,
I'm always amazed, every time, Annie, that you've talked about some of the budget numbers.
Yes.
I don't know, I guess I always was thinking, the Humane Society, they take care of dogs and cats, and it's a cute little thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a huge endeavor,
is.
and it's not an inexpensive one.
No, $60,000 a month to keep our doors open.
$60,000 every month.
Yes, every single month. We were doing the math today. We just ordered 48 more bags of dog food to the tune of like $3,000. So at our morning meeting, we were like, I wonder how much we go through in a day. We figured out it's about, just in dog food, just large dog food alone, we go through about $45 every single day.
Wow.
Just large dog.
That's a bunch of food.
Yeah, and that's only one area of the shelter.
Right.
So, and honestly, I mean, we're serving 900 square miles of Gila County, so it's a lot bigger than people realize, I think.
So it's pretty much everything from down at Roosevelt Lake all the way up to the edge of the rim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a big area.
It's a huge area.
And how far east? You go all the way over to Young?
Yes, yeah, we got Young as well.
So, wow, no sense asking what you're doing in your spare time.
What's
We're here.
You have impeccable taste, by the way.
I know Randy on his spare time.
Yeah, there you go. Now your priorities being with the
That's right.
As far as the volunteers at
Yes.
the shelter itself, that's also a big part of the equation there too.
It's huge.
I mean, how many
It's
people do you
huge.
have volunteering time?
Every single morning, there's at least probably 10 dog walkers that show up the same time as the staff do at 7:30 every morning and take every single dog out for walks. And then we have people come in throughout the day. They do dishes, they pet the cats, they help with laundry. So it's constant.
Wow.
From the time we open to the time we close, there's people in and out helping
these people
us.
that have volunteered to walk animals, dogs. I guess probably not a lot of people walking cats.
No, I don't think the cats play that.
Cats and leashes don't really get along.
No.
But as far as the dog walking, I mean, you talking about like walking the dog down to Green Valley Park and back? Or
Sometimes they do. It kind of depends on the weather. So when it was not, last week, it was pretty nice out, so people were taking longer walks. But when it's hot like it is already now, they're doing a lot shorter ones.
And
So
one of the other things, along with, I mean, you know, as you talked about, you know, the monthly numbers. Obviously, the annual number is like astounding as well. But one of the things that I've also found equally interesting is that, it's not like every animal that's brought to the Humane Society is a well-trained, well-behaved animal.
that's the reason we get the majority of them.
And
So
that's my understatement for the year, by
Yes.
the way. But you folks have really done an awful lot, and I mean painstaking work that sometimes takes weeks and months
Yeah,
to correct some of those behaviors before the animals are ready to be adopted out. I
absolutely.
mean, to me, I guess a long time ago, and I think it was truly the case a long time ago with a lot of humane societies, is they might try and adopt out some, but others that maybe had behavioral problems and stuff like that, they were just euthanized.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Put
That
the
used
time
to-
in to
yeah.
rehabilitate them.
Yeah, that used to be unfortunately how things were. So.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it works here.
No. A lot of places actually. So we're part of Best Friends in Utah. So actually, we are getting close to. So by 2025, we're trying to get the entire United States to be a no-kill status, which is 95% and over live release rate. So I think there's only 3 or 4 states left. So California, Texas, and there's 2 others I believe that still have to get to that mark. But by 2025, that's the hopes for animal welfare.
So over 95% of the
Yes.
animals are adopted out.
Yes, correct.
Wow. I mean, and so I'm assuming then that, the ones that can't be adopted out, there must be a physiological challenge or something
Yes. So it's either, we've had them for months upon months, and it's to the point where if you don't feel comfortable with them being around a child or being around another animal, then obviously it's not safe and we don't want to put the community in danger. Or, if an animal is injured, gets hit by a car, things like that we're usually the people to call after hours.
Right.
So that's where that number comes from.
And a lot of people don't realize this. This is from my past life. They're dogs that come in, the longer that they are there, sometimes it makes them crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
crazy.
Well, like if you were incarcerated, over a long
Right,
period of time,
right.
it would change the way you look at the world too,
For
probably.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, rehabilitating and doing that,
Right.
is very important, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm guessing a big chunk of that is just that being able to take the dog out and walk it and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And try and get some normal patterns established
Yes.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we have, we're lucky that we have beautiful play yards in the back area.
Yes.
Because a lot of people think like, oh, they barely get out of their kennels, which is not the case at all.
Right.
Obviously, when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, their time is limited out there. But throughout the day, staff is doing different enrichment procedures with them, taking them on walks. They even will take them in on car rides to see how they do in vehicles, things like that. So the potential adopter knows, whether they're terrified in a vehicle, if they ride well, things like that.
Right. And we mentioned, again, the budget numbers for the Humane Society, and an equally astonishing number is the percentage of that is handled by the funds raised at the resale store.
Yes.
Which,
Yes.
and what was that number again,
I want to
roughly?
say 30%. It's usually about
About
30%.
30%.
So about a third of the expense
Yes.
just
Yeah.
taken care of through the resale
Yeah.
store there.
Absolutely.
And
So I gotta sell a lot of stuff.
you got a lot of stuff to sell, that's right. And you got a lot of stuff coming in and out every month,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes.
Now as I think I've mentioned before, and if not, I should, and if I have, I'll mention it again. I would rather poke myself in the eye with a pencil than have a yard sale.
Same.
Yes.
I mean, hey, everyone, come to our house and buy all the crap that I want to throw away.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
I just,
Then you make like $50.
Yeah, like, what's the
And
point
I
of
spent a
this?
whole day doing this. Talk to a bunch of people that I don't even.
Right.
Anyway.
Put 'em at the lake.
Yeah. So exactly. And so I mean, it just makes sense if you're like me to just bring the stuff down. And I know you have folks sitting outside that sort through everything right away. And now let's say I'm assuming that there's probably somebody out there that might bring some things to you that you take one look at and say, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, a time or two.
Yeah, there's another understatement. What happens to that stuff then? I mean, obviously some stuff, takes the dumpster dive at that point.
Yes. We go through a lot of clothes. So we partnered up with a company that they come every 2 weeks and pick up any type of material. Like we have like any clothes that we can't sell that are ripped or stained or not washed when you donated them.
Oops. Forgot to do that.
Like boots.
Is it that month already?
purses. Never mind.
That's the after show.
That takes me back. Okay,
Well, we're gonna do an evening version of the show coming up for you soon, but in the meantime, we're good.
But anyway, so they come and they pick up they pick up every 2 weeks. We get paid by the poundage,
Right?
so it's an opportunity for us to make make money off of things that we can't use versus throwing it in the dumpster and filling the landfill.
Makes sense.
And a lot of other stuff, like if it's unfortunately a lot of stuff does go in the dumpster, but we try to not do that. And if somebody's in need of something, or if we have something for so long, that's why you'll see furniture outside. It's already like expired its life inside, so it's time for new stuff. So I'll sell it like dirt cheap outside.
Wow.
So we try not to waste and throw things away because we're lucky that the community loves us and they choose us. There's a lot of thrift stores here.
Right.
They choose us,
Well,
so
now,
that means something to me.
right. Now, I was mentioning kind of things on the lesser side of the donations, but you actually get some really pretty cool
I
stuff
get some,
donated.
yeah.
And if you're looking at maybe picking up a piece of furniture for that special little corner in the family room, or maybe something in the kids' room or whatever, you might be surprised at the quality
We
of
get
items. that
some
you can
nice
Some
furniture,
really nice stuff.
Really
Every
nice
time
furniture.
I
And
go in there,
accent
I'm
pieces,
shocked.
lamps, and things like that.
you name it.
Right?
Get it.
Fur
She's
line
got it.
bomb shelters. Maybe not fur line bomb shelters, but
Just get all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, trust me, all sorts.
All sorts of stuff.
Film at 11, yeah. 11 tonight. Now and what are the hours at the thrift store?
We are open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But we only take donations Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Right.
Because we need that. We just need a day just to catch up. Saturday should be a day of taking care of our customers and selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped taking donations on Saturday because of that.
Now, more of a personal question. Do you do a lot of wheeling and dealing down there? I mean, if somebody comes in and they want to just, now I know you want $10 for this, but I'm thinking $9.25 is a little bit
All
better.
day long they try to wheel and deal.
And are they
And I always say it all depends on the mood, whether you get a deal.
all right, so I steer clear on Mondays. All right.
Mondays, forget about it.
Now, as far
But no,
as
if something's been there for a long time,
Right.
I'm not gonna wheel and deal on something we just got like 2 hours ago.
Right.
We've had something for a while and it needs it at home. I have no problem
that
with
just makes perfectly logical sense.
Right,
So that,
you know.
that makes sense. Now the shelter. What's the maximum number of dogs and cats you can have? I mean, if you were really, maxed out because of another,
Yeah.
forest fire or something like that, what's the maximum?
Honestly, we got to the point during the fire that we were taking our cat rooms and turning them into community dog rooms. So if we absolutely had to, I would say 300.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
and
lot.
obviously that would be not the best situation for us, but we could definitely make it work if we needed to.
And roughly how many dogs and cats do you have in-house right now?
At the moment, I'd say we probably have about 60 dogs and probably about 45 cats.
Wow.
We have a good bit of dogs
Yeah.
available for adoption.
Yeah, there's some great dogs right now available I cannot believe they're actually still there. There's so many
What kinds?
cute ones. You know, we have a lot of small dogs recently, which people have been loving.
Yes.
They're hard to come by around here.
Pillow puppies.
Yes, yeah, little guys. We had a lot of Chihuahuas, and then at the moment we finally Bernard got adopted.
Yay!
He was
No, Bernard.
he was an Anatolian Shepherd. He was just so cool. We all loved him.
Yeah.
So.
And he was deaf.
Yeah, and he was
That was
deaf.
so sweet.
The nicest.
He just
dog.
wouldn't listen.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, we have quite a variety right now. If you look at our website, they're all on there, so you can see their pictures,
We got
their
2
ages.
huskies.
Yes, yeah, King Duke.
King
I love
Duke.
King Duke. He's my fave.
So you guys have got to get just a little bit attached to some of these.
Oh, for sure.
And it's got to be gratifying when you see it going to a good home. And you know
Absolutely.
that, man, mission accomplished.
Yes, yeah, like
Tears
yesterday.
flow.
Yeah, yesterday, Bernard, the dog we were talking about, he's going to be a service dog for a veteran with a PTSD.
Mm.
So the VA is covering everything
That's
to get him
awesome.
trained, get him
That's
up to
beautiful.
everything. So we were very happy with that
And
yesterday.
they can make such a huge difference. And there's
absolutely.
there's different types of PTSD and different types of training for
Yes.
dogs for that. So,
Yeah,
wow,
so we were very excited for Bernard. So he's
And-
been there a while.
he's a real saint.
Yeah.
Now, and Chihuahuas, boy, I tell you, at our place, we've had a lot of Chihuahuas over the years. Now,
bet.
where we've moved now, we've got multiple acres, and it's
Yeah.
a little bit, might be a little much for a Chihuahua, so
Yeah.
we're doing border collies these days.
Very
but
nice.
I miss the little pillow puppies.
Yeah.
So there's something special about
No,
them.
for sure.
And they don't think that they're small.
No.
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 Yeah, gotta love that. There's a real big dog
People
inside.
think
a really
pit bulls are mean. It's the little chihuahuas you gotta watch out
Oh
for.
yeah, little ankle biters.
Exactly.
Now they're just amazing little dogs.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
great, I don't know, just attitude in general. I
sure.
liked them. The one of the other things we've been talking about, you know, the importance of the resale store to be able to, the thrift store to help raise money for the shelter and all. But I would assume that there's also people that just make donations.
Oh, absolutely.
What percentage of the annual budget number would you guess
Well-
is from private donations?
I would honestly say about 60%.
60%.
Yeah, maybe even 65%.
Wow.
So,
So that's a critical need.
yes, critical.
Wow.
Yeah, we are basically funded by the community.
Yes.
And now, do people just keep showing up with checks, or do you must have to routinely do something to remind them that, hey, we still need money over here?
We do, and then we have a great base of people that just make monthly donations. They'll come in and look at the animals, play with them, spend time with them, and then just, here's $100. Keep doing what you're doing. So,
Love it.
yeah, it's very nice when people just kind of stop in and be like, Joe, I don't want an animal, I just want to look.
Right.
But here's a donation to help with your cause. So,
And even though that sounds really good, don't assume that that's going to always continue.
No,
so
yeah.
you should stop by, and check out all the critters too. So people can just come by and
Yeah,
just take a
absolutely.
little tour. And
Yes.
I really, especially compared to the old facility,
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking night and day
Huge difference, yeah, huge.
And it just seems like it's a much better environment for the dogs.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, a lot more room for them to run around. A lot more room for employees to do things, volunteers.
Right.
More inviting.
Yeah, but a lot more inviting. The animals are kept inside, which I think previously, if I remember correctly, the dogs were in outside kennels.
Right.
So I remember when I first moved here, like 12 years ago, there was a terrible snowstorm and the roofs on the kennels collapsed on the dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Well, not to mention just, trying to stay warm in a place like that.
Of
would
course,
be,
yeah.
too much. Wow.
So things are a lot better, yes.
Happy critters and
Yes.
a lot of happy donors. Now, if people think, hey, that sounds like a good thing to donate to, but I don't really have time. I'm busy working or whatever they're doing. Can people just mail you a check?
Absolutely, yes.
And how do they, or where do they send that to? Do they send it to 605 West Wilson Court? in
That would
Payson?
work, or
85541.
that would work, yes. Or we have our website as well, so humanesocietycentralaz.org.
All right.
Or just give us a call and we'll help you.
And that's at 474-5590.
Yes, correct.
And if you want to get down to the resale store, that's at 510 West Main Street.
Go see Lucy.
And go see Lucy. And you,
I'll take your money.
she's easy. Now, is there certain areas that you need more donate? Like, man, we have a real shortage of whatever today.
We can always use dog stuff.
Dog
we,
stuff?
We sell a lot of dog stuff, yes.
Now, when you say dog stuff, what are you talking about?
Collars, leashes, beds, cat trees,
T-shirts,
Right.
dog
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Yes. Toys,
You know,
that kind of stuff. We get a ton of kitchen stuff, which we do sell. We get a lot of everything, but that's probably one of the bigger things. We're the Humane Society, so people are expecting humane,
Right.
dog
Of
stuff,
course.
cat stuff.
It makes sense.
Animal stuff.
No, it makes perfect sense. And I know with like our dogs, man, these dogs live to go fetch a ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just when you come home, they bring the ball to you. I'm ready to go outside, and then they'll keep throwing the ball. They keep bringing it back. So my wife, in her infinite wisdom, the other day, purchased one of these machines
Oh.
that has a little thing at the top where you just drop the ball in, and
Yeah.
it
She
pops
does.
out 100 foot or so. And the dogs love running out after it, but they haven't quite figured out how to put the ball into the
Oh,
little
no.
dish on top
Oh.
yet. So
Do they
we're-
at least bring it back to you?
yeah, they bring
Okay.
it back. So, but I mean, we're just we're trying to cut out all of the exercise that we can possibly do. But at any rate, if you maybe you used to have a dog but you don't anymore, and you're thinking, gosh, I might like to revisit that again, because they do become such a part of the family. I know, at least at our place.
Yes.
So-
Mine goes to work with me every day.
Yeah.
She's up there hustling too.
Well, ours go to bed with us every night,
Yeah.
much to my chagrin. But at any rate, if you're thinking that gosh, that might be kind of an interesting idea. Not only do you have a bunch of different dogs and cats at the Humane Society right now, but a pretty good variety.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's you want a little Chihuahua, pillow puppy,
Yeah.
or you want I don't know, some Mastiff or something. You probably,
Yeah,
well, you
for
had a
sure.
Saint Bernard, right?
That's
Yeah, that's a pretty
It's a big boy.
good size.
Yeah.
Got to have its own seat in the car. But and so great protection, good watchdog, all
For
those
sure.
kind of good
Just
things.
like a Chihuahua too.
Yeah, Chihuahuas, big thing is just as long as they bark, that's the main
Exactly.
thing you want
That's
to
all
do.
you need.
Yeah.
So come see us.
All right, and
Yes.
again, real easy to do. Now, I want to adopt a pet. What are the fees involved?
So any animal over 6 years of age, the adoption fee is $50, and that covers they're already spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, behavior trained, etc.
Wow.
An animal that is 6 months to 6 years old is $100, and then puppies and kittens under 6 months of age are $150.
Wow. And they're still spayed, neutered, all that
Yes,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Everyone that walks out the door. The only exception is sometimes we'll have an animal that's not old enough to get a rabies vaccine. So that will be the one thing they do not have, because we don't want to. Obviously, we want to get them into their new home instead of keeping them.
Over the years here in Payson, there's been a few times where we've come to the Humane Society and adopted animals, and I remember that there was one dog that was it was like an Australian Shepherd mix. That we got, and there was just something about this dog that it was just really mellow, and it had this really kind of longing look in its eyes and everything. We took the dog home to the place that we used to have here in Payson, and went out in the backyard, and we're tossing a ball and just trying to show the dog the new digs that it had, and the wife's sitting down at a picnic table bench, and the dog comes up next to her and just puts its head on her leg like, I'm home.
Yeah.
And it was such a neat thing to see.
Yeah.
I mean, the dog seemed to really appreciate that. I'm
For sure.
First of all, I imagine these dogs have got to be kind of happy to be away from all the other dogs.
Absolutely, yeah. Be in their own
Stressful.
space.
Stressful
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
You got a half 100 dogs barking
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's gotta
It gets
be-
loud. For
And
sure.
I imagine there's some dogs that kind of get a little overwhelmed by that to begin with.
Sometimes, yeah. We're lucky that we have the building we have now, because we have separate areas. So if dogs like too overwhelmed or anxious, we can actually move them to a different area where it's a lot quieter, and they have a lot more like alone time.
Right.
So if we need to, then we can kind of move them around.
And I don't get around much, they keep me locked in this little padded room here, but I've never known of a humane society that, you mentioned earlier that the dogs that you're adopting out also get behavior training.
Yes.
And, I mean, that's, you're not just, oh yeah, here's a dog, unload him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good luck.
Hope he doesn't bite you too hard. But I mean, you do an awful lot to make sure that people do get a really
Yes.
forever friend.
Yeah, we like to call our staff matchmakers. So when people come in, they say, we're an active family, we hike a lot, or maybe we aren't so active. So we kind of like to pair people with the dog that fits best for their lifestyle. So we test them with cats. When we can, we test with children, other dogs,
Right.
car rides, all sorts of things.
Right. And they do the same thing at the resale store too, where they'll get you just the right couch, just the right
That's right.
chair. Whether
matchmakers.
you need a wide one or a narrow one, they have one for you.
We have all kinds of sizes.
Film at 11. Anyway, Lucy and Annie from the Humane Society of Central Arizona. It's always a pleasure to have you in here. every
Thank
It's always
month.
a
you.
pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Keep up the good work.
Thank
you.
I think it's really cool what y'all are doing.
And thank you to our community.
Yeah,
Yes,
and they're the ones that
thank
make,
you.
especially when you're talking about, roughly 2/3 of the money that it takes to keep this
Absolutely.
going is from private donations.
It's private donations.
And the other third comes right out of Lucy's back
Yep.
pocket.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Anyway.
It's her blood, sweat, and tears.
There you go. Again, if you want to find out more, you can visit the shelter at 605 West Wilson Court. The number to call there, 474-5590. And that web address, again, is...
HumaneSocietyCentralAZ.org.
All right. And also the resale store at 510 West Main Street. Their number, if you want to go down and maybe drop off a fur-lined bomb shelter for them today, they're at 928-468-6419. Again, Lucy and Annie, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in and listening this morning to Community Spotlight on KRIM. Got a lot more coming your way. Some tunes coming up from Eric Clapton, Nirvana, Santana, and a whole bunch more. But first, a quick look at RIM Country weather.
This morning's KRIM weather forecast.
Just like that.
Just like that.
All right, now we're going to talk about the rest of the story.